Hello, my name is Vironika Niharosev, and today I'll be discussing the case of Young versus Young. This is a 1993 Supreme Court decision. As a disclaimer, this presentation is for general legal information only, and for advice specific to your case, please consult a lawyer. So we're going to get into the facts of this case. The case involved a couple who were divorced and had 2 children. The mother had been granted custody of the children, while the father had been granted access rights. The father was a Jehovah's Witness, and he had attempted to share his religious beliefs with the children during his access visits. This included taking them to meetings at the Kingdom Hall and giving them literature about Jehovah's Witnesses. The mother, who was a Roman Catholic, objected to the father's attempts to convert the children and argued that it was causing them emotional and psychological harm. The mother sought to limit the father's access to the children on the grounds that his attempts to convert them were harmful. She argued that the children were being subjected to conflicting and confusing messages about religion, and that this was causing them distress. She also argued that the father's attempts to convert the children were alienating them from her and her religious beliefs. The father, on the other hand, argued that he had a right to expose his children to his religious beliefs and that he was not causing any harm to the children. He argued that restricting his access to the children would be a violation of his rights as a parent and would limit his ability to have a meaningful relationship with his children. The issue before the court was whether the father's access to his children should be restricted because of his attempts to expose them to his religious beliefs, which were different from those of the mother. The reasoning of the court is as follows. The court first acknowledged the importance of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which guarantees freedom of religion and expression. The court noted that parents have a right to guide their children's religious upbringing, but this right must be balanced against the children's best interest. The court adopts the best interest of the child test to determine whether the father's access to the children should be restricted based on religious differences. The court considered various factors, including the children's age, their relationship with their father, and the potential impact of exposure to different religious beliefs on their emotional and psychological well-being. The majority judgment also emphasized that exposure to different religious beliefs can be beneficial for children, as it can foster tolerance, understanding, and respect for diversity. The court noted that it is not in the best interest of the children to shield them from exposure to other religions, and that this could ultimately limit their ability to make informed decisions about their own religious beliefs. The majority judgment emphasized that custody and access decisions must be made based on the individual circumstances of each case. The court noted that in some cases, restricting a non-custodial parent's access to the children may be necessary to protect the children's best interests, but this should not be done solely based on religious difference. The court ultimately held that non-custodial parents have the right to discuss religion with their children and involve them in religious activities during their parenting time, unless there is evidence of real harm to the children. The court also held that parents have the right to guide their children's religious upbringing and that children's best interests must be considered when making decisions about custody and access. The court further stated that access to children should not be restricted solely because of differences in religious beliefs between the parents. Overall, the case affirmed the importance of religious freedom and the right of non-custodial parents to have a meaningful relationship with their children and to guide their religious upbringing as long as there is no evidence of harm to the children. The holding of the case is as follows. The court held that non-custodial parents should not be prohibited from discussing religion with their children or involving them in religious activities unless there is evidence of real harm to the children or the potential for harm. This case can be found using the following citation. Thank you for watching.